அன்பார்ந்த மாணவர்களே, இந்த வீடியோவில் 12th standard chemistry unit 11 hydroxy compounds and EVs என்ற பாடத்தில் chemical properties of EVs and use of EVs போன்ற பகுதிகளை பார்க்க உள்ளோம். Chemical properties of EVs. First, about nucleophilic substitution reactions of EVs. EVs can undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions with HBr or HI. HI is more reactive than HBr. You see, example, ethyl methyl ether or methoxyethane. In this case, you see, the ethoxy group is displaced by iodine. Ethoxy group is removed, for this iodine is joined. Okay, so you see, this is ethyl methyl ether. 2 carbon oxygen bond is there. This is methyl carbon oxygen bond, ethyl carbon oxygen bond. Here, this bond is cleaved, this carbon oxygen bond is cleaved. Hydrogen will go along with oxygen, iodine will go along with the alkyl group. So we'll get here methyl iodide and ethyl alcohol. Similarly, you see, we can take anisole. Here you see this alkyl carbon oxygen bond is cleaved. Here hydrogen iodide, it is cleaved. So this iodine goes to the alkyl group, hydrogen go to oxygen. So we'll get phenol and methyl iodide. Okay. Then in this reaction, you see both ether and alkyl halide reacts at the same molar ratio. This 1 mole, this also 1 mole. Okay. Then now let us see the mechanism of this reaction. EVs having primary alkyl group undergo SN2 reaction, while tertiary alkyl ether undergo SN1 mechanism. Protonation of ether is followed by attack of halide ion. You see, this is either HI. This HI bond is cleaved. Electron pair goes to oxygen. Which one? Iodine. So the iodine will change it. It changed into iodide ion. Now this is H plus the ether oxygen donate electron pair to hydrogen and make a bond. And hence the oxygen lost electron, so it becomes a positive charge like this. So you'll get oxonium ion. At the same time, the iodide ion formed during the first step attack the methyl group. So the methyl carbon oxygen bond is cleaved and the electron pair goes to oxygen. So the oxygen becomes a neutral now. So we will get ethanol. Then this is CH3 plus. The CH3 plus and I minus will join to form methyl iodide. Then if we take hydrogen halide in excess, when excess HBr or HI is used, the alcohol formed will further react with the HBr or HI to form alkyl halide. Okay, you see, if we take or we can say equimolar quantity. If we take equimolar quantity, this one 1 mole, this also 1 mole, then we will get alkyl halide and alcohol, is right? If we take excess of hydrogen halide, then what will happen? You see, the alcohol thus formed combined with another molecule of hydrogen halide. Now this hydrogen and OH will combine to form water. Remaining part, this halogen will combine with the alkyl group. We will get alkyl halide. Say here bromoethane. Now let us see some more examples. You see, this is ethyl methyl ether. If we take excess hydrogen iodide, then what will happen? This alkyl carbon oxygen bond is cleaved. This side alkyl carbon oxygen bond is also cleaved. This side one iodine will join. This side another iodine will join. Then these 2 hydrogen combine with oxygen to form water. This is the product. You see, methyl iodide, ethyl iodide, and water. And then, if you take anisole, then what will happen? Like that, excess of hydrogen iodide, if you use, then what will be the product? This anisole, hydrogen iodide, it is taken in excess. So, what we expect is this carbon oxygen bond is cleaved, this side hydrogen carbon oxygen bond is cleaved. We expect like that. If it's so, we have to get here phenyl iodide or iodobenzene and methyl iodide and water. Like this product we have to get. But actually this reaction cannot take place. This is wrong. This reaction cannot take place. Why? Okay, what is the reason you see? Here, the phenyl oxygen bond is phenyl or benzene ring. Phenyl carbon oxygen bond is very short and strong. Since the bond is very strong, this bond is not possible to cleave easily. This bond possible to cleave easily, but this side bond cannot cleave easily. So only this side bond cleavage is possible. So you see like this here, one molecule of hydrogen iodide will react here now. So here the bond is cleaved, hydrogen will go to this side, iodine will go to this side. So we'll get to phenol and methyl iodide. This product only we will get. If we take equimolar quantity or excess of hydrogen iodide, in all the cases, the same product we will get. So iodobenzene we won't get. Don't forget it. Then evaluate yourself. 1 mole of HI is allowed to react with the tertiary butyl methyl ether. Identify the product and write down the mechanism of the reaction. You see, 1 mole of HI is allowed to react with the tertiary butyl methyl ether. So one side tertiary butyl group, carbon, 3 methyl groups, tertiary butyl group. Another side methyl group, react with the HI. Now, you see, which side the bond is cleaved? This bond is cleaved or this bond is cleaved? Okay, this bond or this bond? Okay, the previous reaction you see, here we studied, the halide ion preferentially attack less sterically hindered of the two alkyl group. The halide ion goes along with the less sterically hindered alkyl group, okay, which are attached to ethereal oxygen. That means this is one alkyl group, this is another alkyl group. Which one is less steric hindrance? In this tertiary butyl, you see this carbon is surrounded by 3 methyl group. So this is steric hindrance. Okay, that means steric hindrance means there is no sufficient space to occupy the alkyl groups. Okay, so incoming another group is very difficult. But here it is not like that. Only 3 hydrogens surrounding this carbon. But here 3 methyl groups surrounding this carbon. So this is less steric hindrance. This is more steric hindrance. Okay. So iodine will go along with the methyl, not this side. So this side bond cannot cleave. The left side only the bond is cleaved. Here only bond is cleaved. Methyl carbon oxygen bond is cleaved. Tertiary butyl carbon oxygen bond cannot cleave. Okay. So here the bond is cleaved. And now what will happen? You see, this HI bond is cleaved. Electron pair goes to iodine. This oxygen gives electron pair to H plus and make a bond like this. Okay. So this iodine now attack the methyl group, not this tertiary butyl group. It attack the methyl group. So this bond is cleaved and the electron pair goes to oxygen. So we'll get tertiary butyl alcohol and methyl iodide. We will get. Okay. Then auto-oxidation of ethers. When ethers are stored in the presence of atmospheric oxygen, they slowly oxidize to form peroxides and dialkyl peroxide, hydroperoxides and dialkyl peroxides. These are explosive in nature. Both are explosive in nature. Hydroxy peroxide and dialkyl peroxide both are explosive in nature. Such as spontaneous oxidation of atmospheric oxygen, such as spontaneous oxidation by atmospheric oxygen is called auto-oxidation. You see, diethyl ether is taken, excess of oxygen. Now what will happen? You see, alpha carbon hydrogen bond. In between alpha carbon hydrogen bond, one O2 is joined. This is a functional group. This is alpha carbon. Okay, in between this carbon and one hydrogen, one O2 will join like this. Okay, so it is one ethoxy ethyl hydroperoxide. One ethoxy ethyl hydroperoxide. Okay, this is one option. Another option, what will happen? You see, one more oxygen will join here in between the oxygen and the alkyl group. One more oxygen is joining. Okay, so we'll get diethyl peroxide. Okay, both these compounds are explosive. Okay, so ethase can never be evaporate to heat evaporate to dryness. Okay, it is not possible to heat till it becomes a dryness. Okay, if you heat like that, then it will explode. Can you see some of the reactions of diethyl ether? Okay, we can take diethyl ether, reacts with the chlorine in light. What will happen? You see, all the hydrogen atoms here, 3 to 5, this side 5. 10 hydrogen atom combines with the 10 chlorine to form 10 HCl. Then remaining 10 chlorine will join in place of hydrogen. So this compound is called perchlorodiethyl ether. This compound is called perchlorodiethyl ether. Okay, then diethyl ether reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid. Now what will happen? One water will join here. The alkyl carbon oxygen bond is cleaved. Water split into H and OH. This hydrogen goes to along with the oxygen. Other side OH will go. So both sides we will get same product. Alcohol we will get. This is ethanol. This is also ethanol. 2 molecules of ethanol we will get. Then with the PCl5, PCl5 split into 3 parts. PCl3. This side 1 Cl. This side 1 Cl. Okay. Now what will happen? You see, here the cleavage like this. This way it cleavage. So this ethyl and chlorine will combine to form ethyl chloride. This also will get ethyl chloride. This oxygen will join here in between this phosphorus and chlorine. So we'll get POCl3. Like this compound will get. Okay. See, diethyl ether reacts with acetyl chloride. Now this ethyl group combines with the chlorine to form ethyl chloride. Remaining part will join. So we'll get CH3, CO, O, CH2, CH3. This compound. Okay. Then these reactions already we studied. These reactions, these 4 reactions given in this form, like a flow chart. Okay. Already we studied. Then aromatic electrophilic substitution reactions. The alkyl group, the alkoxy group OR is a orthopara directing. In the case of aromatic eris, the alkoxy group OR is an orthopara directing group as well as activating group. It activates the aromatic ring towards electrophilic substitution. So alkoxy group is activating group and orthopara directing. Okay, so now let us study the reactions one by one. First, halogenation. Anisole undergoes bromination with bromine in acetic acid. Even in the absence of catalyst, para isomer is obtained as major product. See, anisole, it is orthopara directing. During bromination, bromination is done in ethanoic acid, acetic acid medium. Okay, now bromine go to the para position or to the ortho position. Now what will happen? You see, one bromine combined to one hydrogen from the ortho part, so we'll get HBr and the bromine will join here. Similarly, in the para position, both the products we will get. Among these two, the para isomer is the major product. Ortho isomer is minor product. Okay. Then nitration. Anisole reacts with a mixture of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay. And this is concentrated sulfuric acid, this is concentrated nitric acid to yield a mixture of orthonitroanisole and para-nitroanisole. This anisole reacts with the nitrating mixture. So what will happen? You see, the nitric acid HNO3 it is split into OH and NO2. OH combines with the hydrogen, the ortho position to form H2O. Remaining NO2 will join here. Similarly, to go to the para position also. Okay, so we'll get like these two products. orthonitro-anisole and para-nitro-anisole. The para-isomer is a major product. This is minor product. Then Friedel-Crafts reaction. Anisole undergoes Friedel-Crafts reaction in the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride as catalyst. Friedel-Crafts reaction means with alkyl halide and acyl halide. Both the reactions let us see. Anisole reacts with methyl chloride in the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride in carbon disulfide. Now this chlorine combines with hydrogen from here to form HCl. Remaining CH3 will join here, or it may go to the para position. Okay, this is 2-methoxytoluene 1,2. This is the major product, major important compound here. Okay, so this is 2-methoxytoluene. This is 4-methoxytoluene. Okay, this is the major product. This is the minor product. Okay, then with the acetyl chloride in the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride. Now the Cl combined with one hydrogen from here to form HCl. Remaining part will join here or to the para position. So we'll get a benzene ring here, OCH3 here, COCH3 or here. Okay, this compound, if this group is not found, then the compound is called acetophenone. So this compound is called 2-methoxyacetophenone. This is 4-methoxyacetophenone. So this is a major product, this is a minor product. Then what are the uses of ethers? Use of diethyl ether. Diethyl ether is used as a surgical anesthetic agent in surgery. It is a good solvent for organic reactions and extraction. It is used as a volatile starting fluid for diesel and gasoline engine. Okay, in diesel engine or petrol engine, the diethyl ether is used as starting material. To start the ignition, we can use diethyl ether. It is used as a refrigerant, that is coolant. Okay, uses of anisole. Anisole is a precursor to the synthesis of perfumes and insecticide. Pheromones. This is one of the insecticide. Okay, it is used as a pharmaceutical agent. For medicine preparation also, we can use anisole. Next video, we can study book back one-word question first, then the remaining questions. Thank you. அன்பார்ந்த மாணவர்களே, இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடித்திருந்தால் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் செய்யுங்கள், லைக் செய்யுங்கள், ஷேர் செய்யுங்கள். திரையில் தோன்றும் லிங்கை பயன்படுத்தி +2 கெமிஸ்ட்ரியில் உள்ள வீடியோக்கள் அனைத்தையும் பார்வையிடலாம். நன்றி.